Did you happen to watch this video last week? It's okay if you didn't. Go ahead, go watch it now. I'll be right here. I'll wait. Thanks for joining me again here in the TandemCTelevision studios for another update. I think I may have broken my toe while filming that intro. Next time I am definitely wearing shoes. That was kind of painful. But thanks for joining me, guys. We're going to be taking a look today at an update of the Gremlin build, getting a little progress done on that. We're definitely going to look again at reviewing comments. I've been working on that segment. I got some ideas for that segment. We are definitely going to take another look at a couple comments. I think that's a lot of fun. We're going to also look at how the fundraising is going for Studio A outside. As all you guys know, we're building Studio A out there to do some filming we really want to do on the channel here. And I've been doing some fundraising here. And I've got some good news and some bad news on that. So stay tuned to the end for that. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at with the Gremlin build. That's mainly what we've been working on here recently here in the shop, especially over in the workshop. So let's. I think I recorded some footage of that. So let's take a look at some recorded footage I did from earlier. All right, so I did have some footage here that I recorded, and as usual, I forgot to start rolling the camera until I was already in a little ways working on the back hatch. I'm the great filmmaker that I am, but you can see the rough cuts that were made when we cut out this back gate, the back door, or the back hatch. It kind of made some rough cuts, and so that's something that we're going to have to address. But what I've actually was starting to address when I actually finally remembered to roll the camera, I was smoothing out some of the details on that back hatch, because at the end of the day, all I want is back there is just that iconic fuel cap that's back there. I want to smooth everything else out. So I've already smoothed out the lock on the back hatch. And you can see I've started smoothing out the license plate lights, which are quite pronounced back there. So I want to definitely get those smoothed out. And I did it mainly just using an X-Acto knife, just cut it down with an X-Acto knife and then some sandpaper and sanding them smooth. Now, you could use a Dremel. It'd probably go a lot faster with a Dremel. My Dremel was way outside in the other studio, actually out in Studio A. So I just did it with an X-Acto knife and some sandpaper. But the main thing we got to address is those gaps around the back hatch and around the back window. Those need to be made perfect. So when that hatch opens and closes and when that window opens and closes, those gaps are perfect. I want it to look perfect, just like the doors that we're doing. It needs to be perfect. And when we cut those back hatches out with an X-Acto, it doesn't make, the cuts are a little rough. Leaves bigger gaps here and smaller gaps there. So the way I'm going to address that is just using some body filler. I use body filler all around the gaps on the body itself and around the hatch and the windows themselves. And now what I can do is use some 220 grit, and I can sand that down to make the gaps perfect. Just work it over and over to make the gaps perfect. And to do that, I'm going to have to put the camera down to be able to go do it. And that's just what I'm going to do. But first, I'm going to use my big brains, and I'm going to put a tray down. I've already made a good bit of a mess on my work table, so I'm going to put a tray under there to catch all the sandings. But let me do that real quick, and then what we'll do, we'll head over in the workspace, the workshop, and we'll take a look at what we've got so far and how it's coming along. So it took you guys just seconds to get over here to the workshop, but it actually took me weeks to get here. So it's been a few weeks since I filmed the first part of this video, and then now being here back at the work table to show you guys the progress. Had some stuff come up in real life, some having to do with the channel, some not having to do with the channel. The things having to do with the channel we'll actually talk about here in a second after we take a look at the Gremlin project. But I want to make sure and get this to you guys so you can see an update on what's going on with the Gremlin. So let's do that now. Then we'll head back over to the other studio. We'll talk about all the other stuff. So before we had talked about how we were smoothing out and cleaning up these gaps and everything around the back hatch. So I just wanted to show you guys that that's exactly what we've done. Obviously, it's not hinged yet. I still need to remove all these screw tabs. Kind of reminding myself of what's going on here as we film. I still need to remove these, so I'm going to do that immediately, and then we'll add the hinges. But you can see that we're able to smooth out the gaps very well, I think. They came out pretty good. Got a little larger gap down here. That's on purpose. That's to give me room to hinge the back hatch, to give it the ability to hinge down. Plus, we'll be building up a little bit of ledge for the interior, for the back hatch interior in here also. So that gives me a little room to do that with. I do need to clean up these little corners here a little bit. I don't know if you can see. They need a little material added. And then we also need, let me see if I can reach over and grab it. We also need to, or I need to finish cleaning up the back window and add the actual window itself. If you remember right, this is going to hinge upways, and this hinges down, and then we get this big open view into the interior. But I think it's actually coming out pretty good. It's smoothed up. It was pretty simple work, pretty quick work, smoothed up real nice. I think next game plan is to get rid of all this stuff, smooth out this back inside hatch, the inside of the hatch here. Give it some hinges. Oh, I was also going to mention I did leave. There's some structure here. I think you guys can probably see. There was supports from the way the old toy body used to work. I've left these in. I've actually left them in on purpose because that'll give me a platform to build a ledge, a door seal on back here. So I've left those in, but the screws. These screw embosses or whatever these are called, they're going to go. But anyway, so I think it's going pretty well. I tell you what, let's head back over to the other studio. We'll take a look at some comments and what's been going on, why it took me so long to get back over here into the workshop. Welcome back to Studio B, and I just want to talk with you guys about what's been going on in the last few weeks. What took me so long to finish filming this update video? I've even had some of you guys reaching out, emailing me and whatnot, asking me, "Hey, are you okay? What's going on?" And I really appreciate that, guys. It does really warm my heart that y'all are concerned and really want the videos, also the updates and whatnot. So thanks for that. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on. There has been a few things going on as far as I had to take a little time and I guess I'll just say work on my health a little bit. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's bad. I think most of you guys know that. Well, one, I'm about to turn 46 years old, and I have a little girl that's about to turn 3 years old. So I'm a middle-aged guy with a little girl, and I need to get myself in good health because I need to be around for a while for her. Or at least I would like to be around for a while for my little girl. So I did some doctor's appointments. I did some different things, just trying to get back on track because I've been living like I was 18 since I was 18, not going to the doctors, doing the typical guy thing. So I did go to the doctor and had some tests run, and there's some stuff that I need to get worked out for me. I had been feeling kind of actually very sluggish and whatnot. And by the way, it's not the plague that's going around the world right now. I had my experience with that actually late last year. This is just normal stuff that I need to take care of. For me, it's nothing that's dangerous or this life-threatening, so I don't want you to worry about it. But I don't want to get too much in my health. Anyways, but I did also do one other thing that was very important. I went to a different type of doctor, and there's been a major change that took place in my life. I can now see. And it turns out I'm terribly farsighted. So when I've been working, I haven't let y'all in on this, but when I've been working on these different cars and everything where you're working up close, well, I've actually become a good bit farsighted. So I been having to work out here, which has been kind of difficult. So I finally went to the eye doctor, got me some glasses, raised my IQ a little, at least it looks like it, I guess. So this is a big change that has come to the channel, I guess you could say, and to my life for sure. I can actually see what I'm doing now. So anyway, so that's kind of been what's going on the personal side. But now on the studio side and on the channel side, there's been a lot going on also. And most of it, as you know, I do these update videos, but what I'm really trying to get to is Studio A being finished and us filming the series CCG 2084, the big series that we actually want to film. And in the background, I've been working on that in different ways. So I've been trying to get some of the things together that we're going to need when we start filming. You've seen some of the different figures and some of the different vehicles that we're going to be working on. I've also been trying to get projects that'll be going on in that garage, in that series, kind of lined up. But the big thing that I've been working on, and I've talked about this a lot, is the financing. So, I've been selling off my comic book collection to finance that. Now, because of the world of the collector's market, I've gone ahead and I've diversified. I'm going to have to diversify in what we're selling to fund Studio A. And I broke down and I've done it. I know a lot of you, once you see this, you're going to hit that unsubscribe button. I basically sold my soul to the devil. Guys, I don't know how else to say it, but I have actually started selling Pokemon cards. Yeah, I've done it. I've broke down. This is how important it is for me to fund Studio A. I diversified into Pokemon. I'm hitting that craze, actually making a little money doing it. But the real thing is, in this collector's market, I've had to diversify. Basically, it's kind of like the stock market. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, which would be the comic book basket. So I've diversified into trading cards, and what could be our saving grace, the nerd and dork that I am, and the video gaming nerd that I am, I in the past have bought a lot of vintage games for my own collection, for just the collector in me and the nerd in me. Well, it turns out just here recently, and you've probably seen, maybe you guys saw, let me scoot over, I can show you. Y'all probably saw this sale happen. It was a $2 million sale of a sealed Super Mario Brothers game. Unfortunately, I don't have it in my hands because part of the 2 weeks process, I've actually sent my copy off to be graded. So I have a copy of that game that I just sent off to a company called Wata that are going to grade it. Now, there's been a whole bunch of hubbub in this world because the Wata company that grades the games and the auction house that sells the games, Heritage Auctions, a very large, reputable auction house, and all these people involved have been kind of the same people. Let's just put it that way. They're kind of all the same people. So when that $2 million sale happened, I don't know how legit that is. I don't know how much of a... I don't know. But we're going to take our shot at it. And if everything goes right, obviously that my particular copy is not going to sell for $2 million. But I am hoping 5 figures-ish is where I'm hoping for, which will really help fund Studio A. So that's something that's been going on. And then another big great news as far as funding goes. I'm in the process of, and pretty much we're in the finalization of an endorsement deal, and I'm not going to talk about who, but it's a company it's a company that I like. I'm trying not to say too much because it's not completely final, so I don't want to say anything before it's completely final and jinx it or do something I shouldn't legally. But it's a company that it's a product that I use on the regular over in the workshop. And I'm going to get a bit of an endorsement. It'll be through a link to the product for me. Affiliate? There we go. It's an affiliate program through them, which I think could really help also in funding the Studio A process. So that's what's been going on. There's been a lot of that going on for the last couple of weeks on top of just normal life. So I've had to put off the recording of the rest of this video for a little while. And I did go back and was editing the first portion of this video, and I want to apologize for the audio through the first portion. I apparently forgot to turn on. I have an external mic that sits right down here that I forgot to turn on, so I had to use the audio off of the video camera, which was pretty poor. Hopefully this audio is better right now. I'll find out when I go to edit, but hopefully it's a little better. But now that's enough. That's enough about what was going on the last couple of weeks. Let's go ahead and look at some comments. I love this segment that we've been doing recently, or at least in the last couple updates, of looking at comments and looking at good comments and bad comments. And I've printed them out. Where did I do with them? I'll post it down here below so you can read. And I thought this week, first we'll look at the good comment. We'll switch it around and we'll look at what I consider as a good comment. And so this comment actually comes from George Stuckey. And it's very simple, to the point. I love it. I think the Gremlin is going to look great. Can't wait to see the finished product. Perfect. That's to the point. Beautiful. Wonderful. But I did want to point out one other thing that makes this comment even better and greater. And do you see, I'll put an arrow to it. See that little icon right there by his name? That signifies that he's been a channel member for over 3 months. In fact, now, I guess as we speak today, I think it's either 4 or 5 months he's been a channel member. As you become as you're a channel member longer, you get different icons, different colors, and then they change icons. In fact, I think he goes to a Frank icon next to his name. But I just wanted to point that out. That's what makes that comment so great. Is thank you so much, George. I really do appreciate the months of support that you've given and the comments. And if you are a channel member, leave a comment so everybody can see. You show off your icon next to your name in the comment section. Show how long you've been a member and how long you've been supporting the channel. But I thank you guys so much, and also thank the patrons out there. I really do appreciate it. But I did want to point out that comment, and what makes that comment so good. Now let's get to, I don't want to call it a bad comment because it's not a bad comment. I think maybe it's just, I don't know, a misinformed comment. I don't know how to categorize this one. And I have it printed out on my page. Thank God I have my glasses on because this is a wordy one. It's a little wordy, and this is pretty small to read. I'll put it here on the screen. In fact, it's going to probably take up the entire screen. And I'll read it. I guess I'll read this kind of like it's written. The ride on air is way more. Okay, I'm not going to do it. Why all caps? Are you yelling at me? Why all caps? I don't need to be yelled at, but you get the point. But anyways, he goes on to say the ride on air is way more comfortable and better feeling than any spring could ever be. Bottom line, you're riding on air. Keep in mind, you can't drift on race on air unless you got Brazos Air Struts. They're the only brand that makes quality bags that won't pop, and their struts and 3/8 airlines are 4 times thicker in the airlift performance, and the design is struts 100% from drift going tandem. Also, they're made in the USA, not like China. Megan B Racing, Fortune, Eric's, Air Ride, Costume 10, D2, Yellow Broadway, K Sport. You name the brand, and almost 90% of coilover or air strut brands are made in the exact same warehouse in Taiwan, using Chinese parts, cheap double bellow bags, and struts molded on OEM stock struts just with spindles. In other words, there are only 2 brands with quality struts that happen to make their own bags. Brazos and Airlift. As for coilovers, German brands are the best. KW Suspension or Bilstein. Pass those names all. The rest are cheap garbage with bags that pop, and their struts are not what you think they are. The only real air suspension for stance and street offering trackable air suspension is Brazos made in the USA and sold exclusively at 213 Racing. You're welcome. Cheers. Now this is a lot of words and almost a lot of advertising, I would say, on a video that has nothing to do with any of that. So the video was from How Low Can We Get on Airbags? Yes, but it's the RC four-wheel drive build-off competition rig that I was building, where we were putting a 1/10 scale RC car on airbags. I don't think he watched the video, and that was kind of one of the main things I noticed about bad comments is they generally come from people who don't actually watch the video. And if he actually watched the video and still thinks we were talking about full-size scale trucks, then I've really done my job well. I really did pull off a mock truck show back with the RC shop. But yeah, so what makes this a few things make this comment bad. One, don't yell. You don't have to do it in all caps. Nobody's yelling here. We're all happy and calm. No need to yell. 2, actually watch the video and realize that this isn't about 1-to-1 trucks and full-size suspensions. And 2, I think he was just advertising. I think it was just marketing in my comment section. So don't do that either. But anyways, I thought it was funny because that's a lot of words that really had nothing to do with the video at hand. Anyway, so thank you guys for joining me. That's a lot of fun. I liked it. I think looking at comments is a blast. We'll keep doing that, especially if you want me to. Let me know down in the comment. Do you enjoy looking at the comments with me, especially the good ones and the bad ones? But thank you for joining me, guys. We're gonna get a lot more work done on the Gremlin. Back to work again. I plan on getting that back hatch hinged up and pretty much almost buttoned up, I guess you could say, on the back where it's hinged and opening and closing. That way we can start working on the inside. And I've got to get I forget now. Driver's side? No. Yeah, driver's side door hinged up and whatnot also. We'll get that going for next week. I am going to get back on a weekly schedule. I'm back where I need to be. With everything that was going on, back kind of I think where we need to be. Got the affiliate thing I think settled, so we should be where we need to be. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Thanks for joining me. Leave me those comments down below. Hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up with these updates, and when we do get back out in Studio A and start filming, keep up with those updates. Hit the subscribe button. Really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.